Alright guys, this is the first of many videos on this channel. I set up this channel to do response videos to people, that way it doesn't affect my main channel. And the first one that really just irked me was OnisionSpeaks. Saves lives or death machines? American gun violence. He did 2 of them. I have to disagree with you, Onision. I mean, on many levels. But let's listen to a little bit.
Gun violence in America. It's clear that we're a problem. We really are. The rate of gun violence in this country is dramatically worse than most every other country in this world.
Well, that could be because we own more firearms than other countries. I'm sure we have more car wrecks than some of these small third world countries. I mean, it's not hard to put a big figure on it. But one figure I didn't see from you was how many guns have saved lives. What about the little woman who's about ready to be raped and can't defend herself? She pulls out the gun and blows the guy's head off. Stop the rape.
We have such pride in owning machines of death. I don't even know why.
Probably because you don't own one.
You can target practice with plenty of things that couldn't kill. And yet you prefer to own this weapon that could end your child's life. Okay.
Yes, I could use a BB gun for target practice. The BB gun doesn't have the same amount of kick, recoil. So what's the purpose of training with that? And when it comes time to actually have to use the gun, I mean, we can give our soldiers little rubber band guns so they can target practice with, and then hand them a, an M16, and they should be perfectly trained.
So easily. That could end a family member's life so easily, which statistically you're more likely to do when you own a gun. I hope you do your research and verify that, because it is absolutely factual. From 1979 to 2001, over 90,000 children died in America due to gun-related incidents. Whatever your argument is against outlawing guns, know that you were opposing those 90,000 dead children.
Well, that's a good one. Put 90,000 children as a guilt factor. I'm opposing these 90,000 children. How many children live in homes with guns that never have a problem? Do you have any figures on that one? It's real easy to point out that, our state had this many accidents in the car. How many accidents wasn't there? How many people got around just fine without wrecking their car? It's real easy to come up with a number and say, hey, drunk drivers killed 30,000 people. But if you put the number of 2 million drunk drivers made at home, it doesn't really add up, does it? Now, I'm not trying to advocate drunk driving here, but that was the first thing that came to mind.
And that's really sad. Because those children living, it wouldn't hurt anyone. And it's all due to incompetent parents.
That's the first actual thing that you said that I agreed with. Incompetent parents. But because there's some incompetent parents, everybody should lose? No, I think those incompetent parents should have a stiffer punishment than a normal, you know. If a parent properly puts up his gun, locks it up, it is no more dangerous than the light socket or the electrical socket on the wall. How many kids die from putting a fork in a damn electrical outlet? So we should ban electrical outlets because some parents didn't put the little plugs in to keep their kids from putting a fork in there? Logic doesn't make sense to me.
People who believe they have a right to needlessly own this machine of death. Do your research. Think about it. And after you've done that, feel free to talk to me about it. But please, don't waste my time if you're just going to support more death, more needless killing.
There we go. Here's the heart of it. Do your research and then you can talk to me. But if you don't have the same view I have, don't waste my time. What if there was some information in this video that just proved you completely wrong? Now, I'm not the smartest guy. I probably won't do that. But if I did, you'd be wasting your time because my view isn't the same as yours. I mean, God, how egotistical can you be? Here's the other video.
You gotta think about this as rationally as possible, because it seems like as soon as I say anything about it, you automatically go into a defense mode where you prevent yourself from further thinking about what I'm really talking about. And that is guns. In a previous video, I asked you, would the mortality rate of human beings decline if we were to outlaw guns? I just don't see how it could possibly do us wrong overall at the big picture to take away all the guns in the world. Take away the militaries, take away the police, take away everyone's. Yeah, things would be more difficult for the police, it'd be more difficult for the military. However, ultimately, we would be saving human lives.
I have to disagree with you on this point, too. Before we had guns, we killed each other. The problem is not with the weapon, it's with the mentality behind the weapon. We had swords. We killed each other with swords. Which actually is probably a more painful way of going. I mean, if a guy is going to kill me, he has it in his mind, he is going to kill me. I would rather him blow my head off with a .45 than stab me millions of times with a dull spoon. Get it over with, be done with it. I mean, even in movies, you watch the guy get hit with a sword. He doesn't die instantly. He withers in pain on the battlefield and slowly and painfully dies. And, you know, it's real easy to say that we should get rid of every gun in the world. How do you plan we go about that? I mean, I'm sure there's some diehards in the hills of West Virginia that will never give their guns up. So if you can't get every gun, what's the point of taking half of them? And not once in either one of these videos did I see a solution. How do you propose we go about that? It's really easy to say, hey, this is the problem. We should get rid of it. How? How do you propose we do that? Okay. I had a phone call that interrupted me. I don't even remember where I was at. Let's rewind this a little bit and maybe I can remember.
Yeah, things would be more difficult for the police. It'd be more difficult for the military. However, ultimately, we would be saving human lives. And I strongly feel that if I am indeed right about the mortality rate decreasing if we outlaw guns, that I am on the right side by saying we need to get rid of guns. Now, I myself am not going to do this. I'm not going to go to your house and go, give me your guns. I'm not going to run for political office. I'm not going to take any action. I'm just a guy talking in front of a camera, so don't get all crazy on me. But this is just my opinion. I think if someone is really going to go so far as to kill another human being, that it should at least be slightly difficult for them to achieve it. Because in that, I know the mortality rate will decrease. Unless, of course, my base logic is flawed. And thus I would like to be corrected. Because the truth is what I'm after, not my own personal agenda. Please research this for yourself and
Okay. Maybe your base logic is wrong. I don't know. But can you explain to me where states that have given the public concealed weapons permits, where crime has dramatically decreased, not increased? People figured there was going to be shootouts in the middle of town square, and if you had a fender bender, somebody would get out of the car shooting, and it'd be the OK Corral all over, but it wasn't. And here's something else to think about. Think of all the soldiers that have given their lives so you can have a gun. So you can have the freedom to choose to own a gun. You made the comment that, if you support gun control, those 90,000 children's lives is on your conscience. Well, what about the hundreds of thousands of people that gave their lives up so you could have a gun? A comment like this just spits in their face. You might as well just go to their gravesite and take a dump on it because of this comment. You said you're not going to make any action whatsoever to follow through with this. You're just a guy with a camera. Well, it's real easy to point out problems and say they should be fixed. But if you have no solution, maybe it's better just not to state the problem in the first place. If you're going to make a claim like this and do all this research, why don't you research a way for it to actually happen? Just a thought. Peace, Onision.